Hey guys, it's Ashley.
And I'm Brayden.
We're here with Utah Trikes. We're asking the question, is the all new Catrike All Road Catrike's new best-selling trike? It just might be.
Let's take them out.
Let's take them out. All right, Brayden, here we are once again, riding Trikes. So you know today's gonna be a good day.
It's what we do best.
You are on Catrike's newest trike, the Catrike All Road, while I am on one of the most popular trikes out there, the Catrike Villager. Just to preface this here, I did take the All Road out yesterday for its inaugural ride, so I have a little bit of experience with it already.
Yeah.
What we really want to do today is compare these trikes, try to answer that question of where does the All Road fit in the Catrike lineup?
We were very specific with taking these two trikes out. The Villager and the All Road in appearance and a lot of the specs are very similar. The biggest thing, right? The All Road being a full suspension trike and the Villager being completely rigid.
Right.
And I gotta say, this suspension feels great.
Having ridden the All Road yesterday on this same section of road and now sitting in the Villager, there's definitely a difference.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a difference.
You know, we've been out riding a couple other various trikes, comparing them. All Road, we're driving these on the road. This feels like just so smooth, you know? I don't know if you feel that way on your rigid frame, or if it's the suspension talking. I really don't feel like I'm putting a ton of effort. I feel like we're keeping a pretty fast cadence.
Yeah, we're moving pretty quick here.
Just like in all Catrike fashions, they just want to go. There's no resistance, I'm just rolling.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the similarities of these two trikes.
Yeah.
For a rider to get on one of these trikes and then to sit on the other trike, there's not that big of a noticeable difference right off the bat. The All Road does sit up about an inch higher.
Yeah.
So you do notice that a little bit. The width, the cockpit area here is the same on both of these trikes. The seat back is the same. They actually share
same seat cushion, seat
cushion, yeah. So, you know, they feel very similar. And I'm kind of giving away the ending here. One of my big takeaways riding the All Road, it feels like a Catrike.
Yeah.
It's got that same steering geometry. It's got that same handling.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels
very
comfortable.
Responsive, comfortable.
We want to talk about the differences here. These are two different trikes.
Visually say, you can just see it, you can feel it. I already mentioned the suspension on this one being an air shock in the back and some elastomers in the front.
Before we dig into the suspension, which is going to be the most obvious difference here.
Sure.
I think the first difference that we need to address is the price difference.
Okay, yeah.
There's a $1,200 price difference. What you're essentially paying for is the suspension. We're gonna need to cover that in depth here, but that price difference is going to influence a lot of riders, a lot of buyers. When they're considering one of these trikes, you have to factor that in.
Right. Right.
You know, $1,200 is a good
chunk of change for suspension. But you know, the All Road doesn't just have suspension going for it. There's a couple new things that I think made this trike come to life. One of them's the new micro shift bar end shifter.
Yeah.
I noticed it immediately after we went out. Super responsive. I had no problem with the old shifter. I might now that I've know the new one.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you point that out. As I rode the trike yesterday, I talked about the micro shift gearing. There is a difference in the gearing on these two trikes. The Villager, it's got the 3x10 gearing.
Right.
While the All Road there has 1x10 gearing. I knew that Catrike was going to go with a 1x setup. I had initially assumed they would go with the
1x11
that's on the max.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of anticipating that here. See them bring something new. One was interesting, but I understand why they did it.
The main reason they did it is because SRAM is discontinuing the TT500
Are they?
bar and shifters.
All right. This is the successor then.
I think everybody agrees. Catrike vertical handlebars.
Yeah.
they need to have bar and shifters.
It feels more natural.
Right.
I really wouldn't want it with anything else, unless we were talking about a different gear set entirely.
A lot of that does come down to personal preference.
Right. We got to talk about it because we just did it. I usually dread that hill climb, and I was a little anxious with the 1x10.
Right.
Now you got a 3x10 on there. You do have a smaller granny than me.
Right.
That was easy.
So that 11x42 cassette that you've got in the back there, combined with that 42 tooth crank up front, you've got a 1-to-1 gear. Well, that's plenty sufficient for climbing most hills.
So I'm very impressed at how easily they glide up. It's worth saying some suspension models are just inherently harder to climb. I don't feel like the suspension on this model is slowing me down at all.
Right.
I'm very impressed. There's no power loss in this.
Right. You know, one of the clear takeaways when you ride the Dumont, it just feels like a rigid trike as far as power transfer is concerned. And I had that same feeling on the All Road.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One of the notable characteristics of the All Road that we found as we were assembling it there is that additional rear idler right next to the suspension pivot point. And it kicks that chain up to eliminate squat.
Looking at the design, it looks a little crazy. And now that we're out here riding, gosh, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
When they were assembling the drivetrain of this trike. With the suspension, does that not do something to our wheelbase on the All Road?
And as we're right here lined up with each other, you can tell that the wheelbase on the All Road is a little bit longer. That's also part of the reason why it handles so well. So now we're gonna take our downhill and I think that's where I'm gonna have the advantage.
Have been in my speed gear almost this whole time.
As far as gearing goes, that's the thing. All right, Brayden's giving me a run for the money, but he might run out of gears.
I've been out since the top.
There we go. All right. More gears.
Oh.
You know, anytime that you're going down a hill, it's just really hard to beat having more gears.
It's true. Now this is where I've been most interested in seeing the All Road suspension.
This is a really bumpy road right here. We've been taking this on some of the off-road full suspension trikes recently. We talked about what it would be like to bring some of the road trikes here.
I would say, just to put it bluntly, I am slowing down for the bumps I'm hitting.
Yeah.
Whereas the like specific off-road suspension trikes would glide over these.
When we're taking this road on off-road full suspension trikes, the trike is not slowing you down.
No, I'm hitting these bumps on purpose, and
right.
And I can definitely feel that rock.
It's a good time to point that out, where while Catrike has implemented suspension in the All Road, it is definitely a road-based suspension.
I feel like road vibrations, cracks, little rocks, pebbles, maybe some loose gravel. I think the All Road does really well at absorbing a lot of those bumps. These big rivets in the dirt we're riding on, I can feel it.
Well, and I think, you know, we're both riding on this road here, on the Villager here. This is a lot rougher,
I'm sure,
than, you know, what you're experiencing right now. Once we get to the end of this, we'll need a switch. I'm capable of going on this, but you've got the advantage of that suspension plus the wider, fatter Big Apple tires.
That's true. That's true. We haven't talked about the 2 inches tire that this one comes with.
Yeah, so they included not only the tires, but they did go with that fatter rim from the Catrike Max. Adding those Big Apple tires to any trike has always been a very popular option.
Right.
We often call the Big Apple tires, the poor man's suspension. It's always been an option that you could take, and you could add on even the roughest of racing trikes to get a little bit of vibration dampening.
I mean, you can run them at such a low PSI without, damaging the rigidity of the tire, which gives you a lot more bump and plush in your rides and cracks. Are you getting beat up a little bit?
I am feeling it.
Let's say here, I'm not feeling. I mean, we'll have to switch up here ahead.
Yeah.
And I'll get a feel for the Villager.
Well, as we're switching trikes here, I'm gonna make a note here of the colors. So you guys may be noticing that Villager is a different color than what you'll find stock.
This root beer.
Yeah, and that's
cream
one
soda.
of our custom root beer colors. The All Road here is featuring the Star White, which right now is an introductory color only available on the All Road.
So if you're interested in getting a unique color, pop on it now.
Okay, so
Just say, can I just immediately say that seat height was noticeable?
yeah,
right
so
off the bat.
It's funny because I rode this trike yesterday, and then I'm riding it right now after riding the Villager. I didn't think that the seat height was going to be that noticeable. 1 inch makes a big difference. So the difference in the smoothness of the ride here,
I'm feeling it. I feel bad kind of talking about the All Road like I did.
the difference here is astounding. This is so much smoother. While not on the same level as an off-road trike like the Stein, this could definitely hold its own on a service road like this. So I feel all the power of pedaling a Catrike, and yet those road vibrations aren't beating me up.
I'm feeling the opposite a little bit.
Right.
Say it's manageable, I could do it, but I wouldn't purposely seek out trails like this if I only rode the Villager. Whereas I don't think trails like this would slow me down on the All Road.
That's the big thing. We're riding these trails, and big part is we're riding these trikes and we have cameras attached to them. As I'm riding that Villager, I'm watching that front camera bouncing around a lot. I was letting that limit my speed a little bit too.
Trying to keep it straight.
Trying to keep it from bouncing too much.
We have more cameras than that one.
Yeah. Well, and now here with the All Road, that camera's just staying nice and smooth.
Now that you mention it, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
We've been doing these comparison videos for a little bit, riding various models. Now that we're out here on the Villager, it's so obvious why the Villager's their arguably most popular model. And for them to release a suspension version of it, what a sweet trike. I've been waiting for it. We've all kind of thought, man, if they could just do something like the Dumont, but with the Villager frame, it would be fantastic. I can't believe it's here.
Right.
All right, yeah, I'm a little beat up.
Well, and you talk about the Villager being so popular. There are several reasons. I think in terms of value, it has always represented just an excellent bang for the buck.
Yeah.
It's a very high quality trike, like all Catrikes. They're made in the USA. They're
Right.
made in a factory in Florida. The Villager actually got its name from the Villages community there
I've been wondering.
Yeah.
I had a theory this whole time.
in Florida. And part of that, it kind of shows where the mindset was when they created it. It's a higher seat trike. That makes it easier to get in and out of.
I was gonna say, we're talking about why this one and frankly the All Road are gonna be their most popular models.
Right.
That seat height has a lot to do with it.
It really does. Getting in and out of the trike is such a big deal for a lot of riders.
Well, even when you come test ride the model, yeah, you can get in and out of it, but go out there and ride it for, an hour, 2 hours, and then come try to get out of it.
Yeah, then get out of it when your legs are tired and your arms are tired.
You've been feeling it in your rear end this whole time, and now you're trying to force it to sit out of the low seating trikes. It can be a little difficult. I have no problem on these higher seated trikes like the Villager and the All Road.
A lot of more racing trikes, they sit down really low. They do that for increased stability at high speed and handling. Trikes like these, what they excel at is dealing with traffic on the road.
Right.
You're sitting up higher, you're sitting a little more upright, so you can see drivers, they can see you. Makes it a little safer.
I love my fat tire, big trikes, the speed trikes, your low-seated VTX 700 carbon trike, but they're very case purpose. The last thing I need with my recumbent trike, any trike that sits in the garage, you know, I have to plan a route and, oh, this is gonna be a fast trike, I need a fast trail. Villager, I just hop on, I can take it outside, I can ride it to the trail,
right,
you know, comfortably. There's no prep work. I can just hop on it and go.
So right now I'm in my 1-to-1 gear, which is obviously my 1 speed up front and my lowest gear in the back. It looks like you're in your 1-to-1. I do not sense any give from the suspension.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And how often are we climbing this hill that I'm able to talk to you?
Well, yeah, I don't really notice any appreciable difference in terms of pedal power between the Villager and this.
I actually don't feel like I have a gearing advantage with my 3x10.
Well, you do have, I think, an extra 2 low gears there. So, another hill, we can log in the register.
I am feeling that lower C.
It's funny because I started out on the Villager sitting next to you on the All Road. I could see that the All Road was sitting up a little bit higher.
Now that you're on it?
Now that I'm on it, it's hard to believe that I'm only an inch higher. It really feels taller than that.
Oh yeah. No, you said it before, that inch makes all the difference.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm maybe 2 inches higher.
Maybe that's the suspension. We're not squishing it down here.
When I rode this trike by myself, when I took the All Road out for its first ride, I was very impressed with how smooth it rode. Also, the power transfer from my pedals to that rear gear.
Right.
But now comparing it directly to the Villager, I am just really blown away by how good of a job this suspension does.
I am missing it.
Yeah, even right now, like we're riding the smooth bike path road here. I don't really even feel those road vibrations.
Don't feel it at all. I say it's a really subtle thing, you know, because it's not abrasive. I'm not in pain by the road or the pebbles I'm running over on the Villager, but I noticed some.
Right.
And I didn't on the All Road.
Right. And it is subtle.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I should say the Villager itself is already a very comfortable trike. They made that seat pad a stock option a few years ago. The Villager is very comfortable, and this just takes it to the next level.
A lot of people looking for recumbent trikes, these generally have a high entry point of purchase, right? There's nothing wrong with having either of these in your garage as your first and only trike.
Sure. There's a lot of people that they bring in their 10 to 15-year-old Villagers for tune-ups.
I know.
And
still kicking, dude.
you know, we had just a couple days ago, a guy brought in their old Villager and we put a motor on it. Now we'll see if I can hit the limit of this 10-speed gearing. So I'm already in my high gear and all right, I am cranking up. Fast, can I do it? Let's go. Okay. How fast am I going? I don't know.
Where are we going? No one knows.
Woo. All right. Well, there's something to be said about gearing down and spinning fast.
Gosh, I think I work harder on the downhill than I do the uphill just to compete with you.
Yeah. There's definitely something to be said about having more gears. You know, if you want to spin fast, you can always spin fast. Talking about gears, you know, one move that we are seeing across the industry is that the manufacturers are choosing to go with a single chainring up front. I think that the reason for that's pretty clear. So many people are adding motors.
That's the real kicker, right? Frankly, if you want more gears in the front, you'll add a pinion.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just an ease of use thing. The modifications people are choosing, you're right, they're doing motors.
Yeah.
They're gonna be doing pinions.
For the real gearheads, it's really hard to add more gearing than with the pinion, because the pinion doesn't really care what you have in the back.
No.
You know, I could add a 9-speed pinion up front, and now I've got a 90-speed Trike.
Yep.
There's definitely options there with so many manufacturers, including Catrike, that are offering their own mid-drive front motor systems. It just makes sense though. So Catrike, they've got the Bosch ECAT system,
Right.
which is absolutely fantastic. If you're,
Okay, there's not another mid-drive torque sensing motor that feels as natural as the Bosch.
you know, we've tried just about everything. You know, I really, really like that Bosch setup. So. And then of course, people want more power, more speed. They want a throttle. We've got options for that too.
Right. Usually if you're gonna start playing with your drivetrain, the front is the first thing you change with either motor or pinion. So getting a Trike and then focusing your soul, well, I need the Villager because it has the 3-speed in the front. Frankly, 10 years from the time you buy it, what are the odds you changing that for a motor or a pinion setup?
Right. One exciting build setup that I want to see here on the All Road that I really think is gonna, you know, turn this Trike into a different animal altogether is going to be your choice of motor up front paired with that Inviolo automatic.
Yeah. Inviolo automatic.
Yeah. I mean, we can do the roll off with the e-shifting for the same customer that's looking for this Trike, which is all about ease of use and comfort. Adding an automatic to the back is just going to make this a dream. You know, we're talking about the Villager. I do want to talk about why the Villager has been so popular for us.
Sure.
The Villager itself, while an absolutely fantastic Trike, has also proven itself as an essential base component for many of our custom builds. Our Fat Cat 4,
right,
and our Cat 4
V3
line of quads, our Fat Tire V3, and then even our Annihilator V series are all built on that Villager frame.
Yeah.
That Villager frame is just a proven piece of engineering. I don't think that the All Road will fit in as many places as the Villager there. I think that the All Road stands on its own as a perfect Trike for a lot of people. You know, we started out talking about that price difference.
Right.
Someone that is looking at the Villager, and if they decide, I really, really like the Villager, maybe I want to just kick up the comfort a little bit, they're absolutely going to love the All Road. Catrike's Dumont provides those same suspension features, but it does sit down a lot lower. For a lot of people, that's going to be a deal killer. The All Road at that $44.50 price that it's starting out here is really in a good sweet spot. I mean, if you're looking for a suspension Trike, cheaper than this, the only one I can think of is the Fat Cat CXS.
Drastically different.
Drastically different, much more simple, off-road. Definitely a fun Trike, but not going to be the Trike for everybody. If you start going up though, the pricing jumps up quite a bit. Like the next Trike you're looking at price-wise, I think is going to be the Catrike Dumont.
Catrike Dumont.
If you want a high-seated, fully suspended Trike like this for the road, I think you're looking at the...
Looking at foreign models, which come with another $2,000, $3,000 pricing.
Yeah, you know, that price jump, now you're in the $6,000 to $7,000 range. I think that this All Road really is in a sweet spot.
We don't get to talk about a lot on this road that we're riding on. I rode both of these models about 10-15 minutes just while we were prepping. The steering on the All Road,
it does feel a little different.
And I think that's just the suspension king posts they use.
There's some subtle differences in the geometry for the suspension spindles. Talking about the Catrike's suspension spindle, I understand why they did it, but you can't upgrade your Villager or your other Catrike.
Right, that is worth saying.
With suspension. In a lot of ways, that's a shame.
Right.
You know, there's so many people that are out there, as we've commented, that have Villagers, that have other Catrikes, and they're bringing them in for upgrades. And if there was a retrofit suspension option,
you could already take their other sweet Catrike models and just pop it in. It's the angle of the head tubes, right?
Yeah, so the head tube angle on the Dumont and the All Road is different for their spindle, so it just makes
You would
they're
have too
different
much.
enough that they're not going to fit. Yeah,
Your alignment would be broken, your steering would never work.
right. All right, guys, we are back at the shop, and we had another fantastic ride today comparing the Villager with Catrike's new All Road. Is the All Road going to be Catrike's new best-selling trike? And I think that there is a big argument to say yes. I think so. I think that the All Road here has the key features that most people are looking for. A good price point, a higher seat, great handling, a comfortable ride, and more important than ever, you know, made in America. And the All Road really hits that.
Say, I love the Villager. I think it does everything it tries to do right. I think the All Road just takes it that step forward.
Right.
It does everything the Villager did right and more. Just a slight step above, and in some facets a large step above with the suspension.
Sure.
I have nothing but praise for the All Road.
Well, there you have it, guys. In our opinion, we're very convinced that the All Road here is another fantastic trike from Catrike. So if you have any questions about the All Road or the Villager or any other Catrike models, check out our website, utahtrikes.com. Give us a call. Watch all of our YouTube videos.
And remember, everybody, relax to spin fast and ride trikes.
See you guys.